You're listening to another episode of the NSFW podcast. Thank you for your time.
It's going to be fun.
You're making a lot of clinking noises.
I know, there's so many noises. How do you guys pilots? I like pilots and like grenade, I don't know, people. Like, how do you just...
Grenade people.
Grenade people?
That's a
Do
thing,
grenade
right?
people use podcasts?
I do the grenade.
You wear the things on your ears, and there's like
Just earplugs.
at least I watched Avatar this morning. My vision of like
The last Airbender?
yes, I'm ready for the new one. The
My
one-
my kids just watched
she's
that last
talking
night.
about the movie.
The blue people.
yeah, the blue people
blue
with the
people.
army people and the hippie
Fake
people.
Avatar.
Yeah,
Where do
they're
you think I fall on that spectrum?
Save the planet.
España. I cried when I saw that in theaters.
We watched it in theaters, and when we got out, some guy came up to me. He's like, "How long do you think before I can plug my hair into my computer?" It's like, I don't know.
It was your butt hair, actually. So
You have to work on
depends.
growing that out
Depends
first.
on how long your butt hair is, I guess. Have we started recording? This is good.
Yeah, so we're live.
Hi, Mom.
Hey, Mom. Everything from this point forward will be recorded, and then it will go public at some point in the spring. So whatever you don't want...
I told you I shouldn't have sat across from you because you're just eye gazing me.
I gaze you a lot. Whatever you don't want recorded, don't say.
Oh, no.
But it's also okay to say whatever you want because this is an authentic podcast. Just know that you will be recorded. So if you need to swear or you need to
apologize
say
in
something
advance.
or if you want to do awkward whatever, that's okay. Just know that it's recorded. This is not it's not advertised as a family-friendly podcast either, so there's not necessarily children
Is
listening.
Graham going to listen to this? at
Graham
some
will
point?
listen to this.
Graham
Yeah.
doesn't know how to do it.
So think of that. Keep that in your mind. Graham will be listening.
Just don't
Your
state
parents-
your name and they won't know who you are.
Your parents will be listening.
Lauren, this is Lauren Boyd.
Okay. All right. Yep. Everybody's good?
Yeah.
Clap sync.
I don't know what a clap sync is. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode, anavivo.com. Another one live! We're here! We're bringing it in. I'm eyeballing Steven hardcore today. Again, as usual, we're coming live to you from the 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom house of Benjamin Miller, the ultimate bachelor pad. What do you know about that, Ben?
It's a house.
It's a quadplex.
It's basically awesome. There's Christmas lights. There's
3D puzzles.
3D puzzles.
Oh, yeah.
There's some pets running around here somewhere. Some video games. And we're live.
There's pets in here?
We have house rats.
Why don't we
A hamster.
Why don't we go around and introduce ourselves for the audience? Starting on my left.
My name is Steven.
Okay, we'll start across from me.
And I'm the youngest, brightest child of the Miller boys.
I'm Ben.
Thank you. And Ben. And Ben is a brother also.
Ben is a brother.
Are you second born?
I am a second-born.
A dragonborn.
Second-born Ben, the brother.
Ben.
So his goal is to kill Tim to take the throne.
Wow. I'm sitting...
Today might be the day.
The proximity is too close here. Can you move your mic a little bit closer?
Is that better?
Or you can move closer, sure. And who over here?
I'm Jessica.
Oh,
not,
you're
not of the Miller clan.
you're not Lauren today?
Not Lauren today.
A few
only when I'm
seconds ago.
back. Of the Boyd clan.
Of the Boyd clan.
I feel like you guys have like a leg up on me playing video games. Used to like,
Oh,
recording.
talking into my ears. Yeah.
Yeah, you're going to want to watch the pops, and you're going to want to watch the ASMR eating sounds
Yeah.
effects. But
Okay.
otherwise,
Popcorn.
yeah, no popcorn munching.
Licking
And
your lips.
look away to cough. Like that. Okay. All right, welcome back. So we were just talking about some pretty insightful things that we discovered on the river recently. Do we want to jump right into that? Because I feel like that was a pretty sweet, authentic conversation.
Sure, let's talk about the river first.
Okay.
Like,
Yeah, that's a good.
that'd be a
deeper-
more
that's
gentle
deeper.
intro.
Sort of gradually get into this. So once a month, I go on the Skagit River. We do a kayak run from Marble Mount, Washington to Rockport, Washington. It's only a 12-minute drive between the two places, but it's about a 3.5 hour float. And it's pretty sweet. It's nice and pretty, and we go usually sit on top kayaks, but this time I tried something new. We did some...
Yeah, and you didn't tell us until we're leaving.
And I brought my guinea pigs with us, these guys, and we tested out some inflatable kayaks, which were actually, I thought, were much more enjoyable. Having been on the sit on top kayaks this whole time for a couple of years now, the inflatables were more stable and more comfortable, although I did have a fear that they would pop, and mine did, actually.
Well, the sit-on-top ones have those drain holes, and so your butt's constantly wet the whole time,
yeah.
where these ones didn't, and so it's just whatever water got in. The only problem is you get water and you can't get it out.
That's true.
Is that a slide against me?
No.
The back partner of the
I'm not blaming anyone in particular.
Nobody
definitely
here
not.
sitting to my left. Although, so I was in my own child's kayak because I needed to test that for children. That was highly uncomfortable for me, but it worked. Ben was a wombat in his own kayak. I mean, he was flat. He was horizontal the whole trip.
I don't think wombats are a water-based creature.
Whatever you were, you were horizontal the whole trip.
Well, these ones have backrest, so mine didn't work really well because I never set it up. But if I had taken the time to set it up, I'd have a backrest, whereas the sit-on-top ones don't at all. So you're just crunching the whole
Well, the
time.
sit-on-top has backrest. They're just not
It
as...
has the same. It's just these ones were inflatable.
Yeah. Yeah, these were comfortable.
I could be
Except
wrong.
Ben's didn't work or something.
Because
Not
I'm a
normally
big
wrong.
boy.
Yeah, so Ben basically floated horizontally the river, and Jess was in the...
I had a great time.
Yeah, she had a great time.
After like 5 minutes, I just was having a great time.
Jess and Steven were in a double kayak, and I don't think Steven helped.
Well, you didn't really need to do anything. It kind of just took us.
You, as in you in the front, didn't need to do anything.
Maybe that was it. Yeah.
Well, he was very patient. He let me do some what's that, donuts.
Oh yeah.
I just kept turning around, especially during the rapidy part.
Oh yeah. We went down some rapids backwards. I don't know if you
That's
could
great.
classify it
Because
as
we're so
rapids.
good at it.
Yeah. We did a couple. The one thing you can do in a double kayak is paddle high fives. So
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Away from us. We didn't get to participate in that.
Right. Yeah. Because you guys were slacking
Yeah, so we went in, what month?
this month.
November.
This month, November. Is it
14th?
November already? Yeah.
Yeah.
It was cold, but it was nice and sunny.
That
What do you guys
just
think?
I
spoiled
didn't
the
think it was cold at all,
continuity.
actually. I thought it was great. Like, super sunny. The snow just came in on the mountains, so it's
Yeah,
beautiful.
That's right.
I've never seen fish like that. My mind's blown.
Dead fish.
Yeah.
I mean, giant fish.
I
yeah,
mean, there
just,
were
like,
live fish
everywhere.
that jumped out, to be fair, jumped out a bunch of times. But then, yes, the one you picked up
was
was
very dead.
very dead.
I didn't know that, yellowtail was a decaying thing.
No,
They're so,
it's not yellowtail sushi. That's a different kind of
But
fish.
I think someone was like, it's very hard for me to remember because I have a fuzzy memory of it. But
Huh, interesting.
yeah, I don't know why. But picked up a very dead, very big fish. I'm pretty sure someone prompted me to do that. That was not on my own.
Oh, you're like, I want to pick it up, and I said, okay, I'll get the camera ready.
I think he said, "Why don't you pick it up?" I was like, "Great idea." It's rotting.
It was huge, though. It was a heavy, big fish, big salmon.
I don't remember. I just
I have the picture.
it.
yeah.
Great time.
Yeah. So we floated down lots of salmon, live salmon and dead salmon, and eagles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did think it was going to be cold because the week before we were going to go was flooding and the weather said snow or slush. And so Ben and I went to Walmart and we went to the football section and they had sauna suits. And so I bought a sauna suit.
Oh, is that that's not the
It's
heated
just a
thing.
space blanket.
It's just a space
Okay.
blanket. But
But you wear it.
So you can lose 10
Space blanket
pounds
suit.
before a wrestling match.
yeah, lose it in water weight.
You're just going to be soaked in cold the whole time.
But it was actually really warm. Yeah, it was nice. And
Never
the
put on
sun
your
was out.
sauna suit, right?
Never put on my sauna suit. Actually shedded layers because it was getting a little hot out there, with all the liquid courage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was nice. For November, for rain the previous week and potential flooding, and for what it could have been, windy and rainy and cold, it was still in the 30s and then 40s. It warmed up to the 40s, but it was actually really nice. So we floated down. Well, I guess we should back up. We started at bright and early, 7, 7-ish in the morning from my house, and then we took off, got our coffee run, drove up there. That was pretty. No elk this time. I usually see elk off the highway.
I saw a German Shepherd, though.
We did see a large German Shepherd, which was mistaken for a small animal or whatever you thought it was. Look, an animal. And then Ben and I inflated the kayaks while you guys shuffled the cars.
Yeah.
That was different because usually you just slide the kayaks off since they're sit-on-top kayaks and jump right in the river. But so we inflated them. Was there any nervousness on your end, Ben, as you were inflating?
No.
Nice. Look at that confidence. Ben was a prior Army veteran, so that just sort of exudes through his personality in this. Very concise, very confident, very much.
Sure thing, Bob.
So we inflated them and then did our safety brief, got on the river. And was it as long as you guys thought it would be, or was it shorter than you thought that you can remember?
We ended the trip with drinks to spare, so I think it was a little bit shorter than I had thought.
Okay. You had planned it out by drinks.
By drinks, yeah.
Wow.
Maybe someone wasn't carrying their weight, but
At least
Interesting.
half a bottle left. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't remember how much time it took. It just kind of happened.
It just happened. It was a good day.
Yeah, by the end of the day, you're like, oh, and there's a 12-hour mark. I was like, oh, all right.
12-hour.
Yeah, we got back at 7, and it was, because we left at 7, so that was the full 12.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, the water was moving just as fast as it usually is, but we were definitely doing a lot more floating than actual paddling this time. So,
Which was nice.
The big reveal is that it took us 4 hours and 23 minutes to get down the river, which usually I do in 3 or 3.5. So
Because you're like vigorously working out.
I'm not usually, but we just had a good time. So it was a lot more floating than it was paddling, which was nice. Pulled over on a sandbar for lunch that we almost lost Jess at. She didn't make the turn off and fell out.
I don't remember that. I really don't.
She was standing there on the edge.
I don't think I fell out of the kayak.
Barefoot.
Oh, you definitely fell.
You were
Out of the kayak?
you were
You
barefoot.
just tumbled.
Like,
Rolled.
I tried to get out of the kayak and
Tried
just
to
fell
get up
in.
and just rolled over.
I remember that a couple times.
Yeah,
trying
because
to get in the kayak.
mostly-
trying to
About
get out of the
half an
kayak.
hour of hiking across the rocks barefoot.
Yeah, it was that. That was why. Why were you barefoot?
Because my
Did you not listen
Sandals-
to the safety brief?
Oh, first of all, your safety brief was a lot, like 4 paragraphs of like what to wear.
Yeah.
So I need to shorten it.
Well, it was
That
just
wasn't
like,
the safety. That was the pack brief.
oh, we did have a safety huddle beforehand. That's right. I think I was drinking Fireball at that point.
Yeah, we had
Sorry,
started.
Graham.
Yeah.
And I did not realize those IPAs were 9%. I was already 3 sheets to the wind during the safety huddle.
So Jess is barefoot in the spot we pull over for lunch, which is, they're smooth rocks, but they're also mossy covered or whatever. And we get out of the inflatable, which is basically just a rolling bouncy pad. And Steven, her partner, is trying to haul this 2-person kayak to the lunch spot.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, no, that's fine. I had Crocs on.
And Jess is over there still in the water, just trying to struggle to stand up. And every time she does, the water pushes her over.
I'm so thankful because the only thing I remember is, sure, splashing around in the water, struggling, but I just went, as soon as I got onto land, which was also rocky, I just peed without really even worrying about where you guys were.
Perfect.
I knew there was bushes around.
We're all family.
You were totally surrounded. You went to the designated piece.
I just had no concerns at all. I just had my, my plan, executed my plan, and then just kind of like finished up. And you guys were like maybe like 10 or 15 feet away, neatly putting away the kayaks. And I was like, oh, I probably should have like looked both ways. Or
No, you went in the
been
spot.
A little bit
I
less
pointed out to
feral.
everyone. I said, "This is where the bathroom spot is," and you guys all went, "Okay," and you did that.
Did you? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's all I remember.
Yeah.
Plus,
just
we're all
remember-
bros out there in the whole wilderness.
I warned you guys that I was going to be feral. I was going into my natural state. I feel like I've been very prim and proper for a month. Really,
Time to just let it all.
yeah. Well,
Yeah, so we had lunch, and that's where we saw most of the salmon. Honestly, that little creek where the lunch spot was. We got back into the kayaks and kept going, and then all of the salmon that had taken the wrong turn had sort of died there, laid their eggs and died, and that's where you found the big,
I had a great time.
whatever that,
Rotting
it was
fish.
massive, yeah, whatever the
My
weight
spirit
was.
animal.
Is that the rotting fish is your
Yeah.
spirit animal?
I don't know his name.
Her name.
Okay.
And then there was a bunch that were alive that were, as soon as we tried to get past that little spot, they just went wild and got that on film, which will be on the YouTube channel for all of you listening in.
All of you.
All of you listening in.
Everybody.
Yeah, the cool video of all the salmon going down that spot. So, and then we made it back to the bridge in Rockport. Anything else between there?
No, we pretty much ran out of things to talk about. So,
That's the whole episode.
yeah, thanks.
All right. Thanks for joining us. Don't forget to like that, smash the subscribe button.
This is why Ben's here. Subscribe. We got out, and Ben and I drove at that point to take the car to do the car shuffle while you guys deflated it.
Yeah,
And
we were not capable of doing so.
Oh, I thought it was a great time. I had so much fun.
I mean, we could not have driven.
Oh, the
car.
driven
oh,
part.
no.
Yeah.
Which is fine. The kayaks are my child's kayak is one of those cheap ones with the little nipple thing that you just, and then you got to squeeze it to let the air out. But the other ones are really nice. You just pop it, and then it deflates itself, and then you put the pump in to then remove the air. And I looked over before we were leaving in the car, and Jess was like just sprawled out on top of the kayaks.
Had a great time.
Trying to
push it out.
push it out, but it's not one of those that you can push out. You have to.
No, that's not true. You just stick your thumb in and then push out.
Oh,
And then he pumped out the rest. Something you didn't know.
okay.
Because only stand-up paddleboarders would know this.
As only
right?
stand-up paddleboarders,
Yes.
would know, which you
The
are.
Advanced, yes,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah. Special guest today on the show, stand-up paddleboard.
I mean, but I also was sopping wet before that, so went and changed because I pretty much just swam in the river the entire afternoon.
The rest of the from lunch on. Yeah,
and then came back. I was like, "Ooh, something to do.
Yeah.
This is so fun."
yeah.
Still
And then you were
pretty.
cold the rest of the time until we got to dinner.
I don't remember that being cold at all, but that's normal for me. Even like snowboarding, I can be wearing 10 layers. As soon as I stop doing activity, I'm cold.
Yeah, you had desynchronized the dual.
Oh, I did. You have heated
Air
seats.
thing.
I do. I think I scorched that
popped
thing.
it up, yeah.
Had a toasty buns on the way home.
Yeah, and then we went to Red Robin. Shout out to my favorite sweet potato fry place. And had dinner, and then forgot something.
We had to badger the waitress for our bottomless fries, like every time she
That's
came
true.
by.
Yeah. I don't know if that's a Red Robin thing or if that was just that night. That's how they get you. It's bottomless fries. We'll bring you two.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it was good. It was a good way to end a long day on the river. Any other thoughts? Ben?
No.
You seem pretty talkative.
Good.
Ben was very patient. I tried to fix his backwards lean in a very sloshy state. Maybe I might have walked over to you and done it, or maybe I think I was in the kayak.
We were
Next.
like
Yeah.
mid-water.
Yeah, and you were just so patient. Like, I know I've already messed with this. I know it's not going to work, but like,
We both thought it would work, and then we
for
did it.
sure,
and
if we
it
put this
didn't
backpack
work.
in the front,
You
it'll
know,
do
when the
that.
kayak says it's rated for 165
No,
pounds.
it doesn't say that. It said
Max weight, 165
220 or
pounds.
something. Yeah.
With gear.
With gear, 165
No,
pounds.
2 something with
220
gear.
with gear, yeah.
It wasn't that the whole thing was sinking. It was just that it was sinking backwards.
Yeah, no, it just isn't made for someone of my caliber.
You're just like full lazy boy position the whole time,
Yeah.
having a real good time.
And spinning around in circles
Yeah.
as we floated down the river.
But yeah, I was really impressed that you let me fidget with it. Like, surely I know how to do this better than you. Surely I can figure this out. Don't give a nurse any fireball and send her down the river. Just fiddle with all the gear.
But it was good. It was an authentic trip. It was really nice weather. It was a good time to bond. It was pretty. We saw a lot of aminals, including cows.
Yeah.
Did you try to ride one?
Oh, I hope so. I don't remember. Let's add that to my memory, though. If you have a picture of it, it must have happened.
Yeah.
But really, that was my first outdoor excursion. I've been in Washington almost a year now, and I've done a lot of solo excursions, snowboarded around the state, did some hikes.
All by yourself?
I've been almost completely alone
That's
in Wenatchee.
terrifying.
Yeah.
Slash.
Yeah, I
sad.
did not hike as much as or climb as much as I normally do because it's all backcountry back there, and just could not find a partner. Didn't try that hard, but it's stuff you should not be doing alone. So that was fantastic for me to I don't do that many water sports. It was beautiful, super fun guys that know what they're doing and are super relaxed.
Theoretically.
Thank you.
You guys, no one drowned, and I just kind of let go of the reins. So it was fantastic.
Yeah.
And acted a fool. No judgment. That was fantastic too.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Do you have one of those SOS GPS things? Like
no,
the
I
Coast Guard
rub
will come if you.
sticks together and clank some rocks. Just
Old school. I like it.
I do a lot of things alone, It's like
no,
She's
but
like a-
really, it's from being, a missionary. What was my dream at 23, and when I went to Haiti, I made a peace. Okay, God, if I die in Haiti, this is what I believe you called me to. And then that dream kind of fell apart, and it made me into an excellent rock climber because I was like, okay, if I fall off this
What?
cliff,
I feel like there's a
I've
story
already
there.
made a peace with it.
I was a missionary in Haiti that didn't care if I died.
I made a peace
Yada,
with it.
yada,
I did
yada.
not care.
Big rock climber.
So then when I started rock climbing, it was I bypassed all the start. Usually you start in the gym and get a little lesson. But I was just nope, here's a former Marine and he's going to teach me how to hang off the side of a cliff. And
No
all
safety
these
gear.
rocks are, there was a lot of safety, but
In Haiti,
that was in West Virginia.
West Virginia.
They're pretty much the same thing.
For all of you tuning in from the East Coast, you heard it here first. So that was a good kind of then introduction to Washington in November too, especially usually
so pretty.
places the East Coast in November is under snow right now, and
Yep.
we're kayaking the river, so pretty temperate, I guess.
I thought so. Water was cold, but not as cold as a polar plunge, and
Yeah,
especially with some Fireball, it was pretty toasty.
and pretty toasty.
Yeah, it's like tepid bathwater.
What's next for you, Ben? How do you relive this high?
He hasn't come down from the high yet.
Yeah.
I don't.
You don't?
I just wait till next year and do something else.
Oh, is this like an annual thing? In your
No.
plan? Okay.
I'm trying to get you guys to teach, find a place for me to take a group of people to snowshoe or.
Oh yeah,
Baker.
Mount
Baker.
Baker.
Artist Point.
By that I mean I want you guys to go take me to Baker.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I don't do too well in snow.
Oh no, you said that about kayaking. You're like, no, I don't do cold, and it was a beautiful day. It's the same thing with snow.
Yeah, Ben. What are you gonna say?
Yeah,
I
Ben.
hate snow.
Don't touch it then. Just walk on top
Oh
of it.
yeah, don't do it.
Ben's
Don't do it.
7 feet tall and
6 foot.
4 feet wide, and he's
2
like a
foot.
linebacker, and he's got a big old beard. He looks like he should be in the snow.
Yeah, he's basically a Bernese Mountain Dog.
Yeah,
Is that
that's a
guy
good-
from Rudolph? Yeah,
Yeah,
the pickaxe.
Yukon Cornelius.
Yes, exactly.
Ben knows. Little twisted mustache. So you want to go to snowshoeing at Artist Point next?
Oh, yes.
Do you
I have
have-
my snowshoes in my car, wedged in between my driver's seat and my folded down seats, and they've been there for a year.
Oh,
So-
I have snowshoes as well.
Oh,
Hey,
my goodness.
And I have access to 2 more sets of snowshoes, so it sounds like we just made...
one bin size.
And I will cheer you on from the comfort of my home.
No, I said 2 more sets, so one for
Fireball.
you.
We'll bring Fireball for
I'll
you.
pass on that.
Okay. You get to sled down at the end.
That doesn't make it better.
That makes it more fun. Yeah, it's a pretty where the parking lot usually is in the summer, it gets snowed over, and so you start at the bottom parking lot and you snowshoe your way up to the Artist Point parking lot, and then you can see Mount Shushkin or Shaushkin.
Cheshkawea.
You see that mountain
Sheshwan.
and the backside of Baker and the rest of the Cascades right there, and it's really pretty. And then you bring a garbage bag with you and you slide down on it on the way back.
All right.
Yeah, so you don't have to snowshoe back down.
Nice. Usually, I'd take a group of knuckleheads, 10 people up snowshoeing in Colorado, and
Wow.
I have not booked one this year. So
I heard that you're not going back
I don't know.
to
Taking
Colorado.
How did you hear
Mom
that?
and
She doesn't
Dad,
know.
are you listening?
Holly,
Uncle Mark and Jane, your daughter's not coming home.
I did talk to them this morning.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Holly, between her awesome advice on like everything else, like read Pilgrim's Progress and all the other advice that she had for me, she had some really sweet encouragement. That was like that verse about the word being a light into your feet or a lamp. What is that?
Yeah.
You guys would know this.
Yeah, you got it right.
Pretty close.
Yeah.
Well, the lamp it's more like a headlamp. Like it only shows you like the step that you're going to take. And it's really more about like learning, is this step in the Lord's will? Like it's not a lighthouse showing you where to go all the time.
Cool.
So yeah, that's where I'm at.
So
I know.
one step at a time.
Yeah, I
what
know
you're
that
saying.
I accepted a job and now I canceled the job in Colorado, and I canceled my flights back.
Wow. So is that including like Christmas time, or are you going to go back for Christmas?
I'm going to go to Las Vegas for Christmas.
Okay, with the family.
Yeah,
Yeah.
with family.
Cool.
Yeah.
And then come back here for the spring.
Well, then I'm just going to take it one step at a time. So Julie wants to take me mountaineering in January, but she's really funny. She's like, well, this is very mountaineer of her. Like you don't invest in other budding mountaineers because it's such a high risk sport unless you know their level of commitment to safety.
Right.
And for her, maybe community. So she's like, well, how long are you going to stay? I was like, well, when are you going to take me? She was like, January. I was like, okay, then at least till January.
I will commit to you 1 month.
Yeah, I'm gonna take it one step at a time. This same conversation with like Julie and Holly, so great. Trying to like, I feel very ecstatic that like, okay, I feel like I heard God for the first time in a long time, other than just being called back to Christ and then Tahiti, which was like a clear call.
Yeah.
But now it's like a period of peace. It's harder for me to hear God. I'm a brand new Christian. Also, I don't want to obey, like haven't wanted to obey in 10 years. So, okay, I feel like I hear God. Now I have to obey. But with that also comes some like grief in a way of like, oh man, I'm not going to get to snowboard once a week and see all my friends and, maybe drink with them and do all the fun things that are really no longer that fun to me anymore.
Are you not doing that because they're not that fun, or are you doing that because of some self-imposed idea that you shouldn't be doing that or can't be?
No, it's just that I'm not planning to go back to Colorado right now. But so I was like, okay, God, I'm choosing to obey, to stay here. I'm going to give up on all these things that I think are super fun. Colorado's the mecca for climbing and snowboarding. And I was like, I know that if I follow you, then you will make it a wild time. And it's going to be better than any like fun thing that I do on my own.
Yeah. Amen to that.
And also, can you please provide other people that will do fun things here? So I don't go crazy. So I'm talking to Julie, talking to Holly, and they're like, oh yeah, we'll take you mountaineering. This is super fun here. Also, Colorado, you can't find any snowboarding as good as in Colorado. I was like, man, this is a test, isn't it?
Right in my face. I
Salt
can't
in the
believe
wound.
it. Well, have you been snowboarding out here yet?
I did. That's
Okay.
all I did in Wenatchee was, at least in the winter. to
Where
get by.
did you go?
Crystal Mountain, Stevens Pass, Mission Hill. I went to Whistler up in Canada.
Okay. None of those compared to Colorado?
It's wet snow and it's overcast. Less crowds though, but it's
not the same as sunny powder.
sunny. Yeah, sunny powder.
Yeah.
Who's Julie?
Or Julia,
You keep
Amy and Julie.
mentioning this
Holly's
Julie
sister.
person.
Oh,
Mountaineer,
Okay. Yeah.
chick.
You know
Okay.
Julie,
Nurse,
Steven. She's a
twins.
hardcore nurse, twin.
I mean,
of
I know a
Holly.
lot of Julies. I just didn't know what Julie you knew.
That one.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, and all this would not, I'm just going to keep talking since now I'm on a roll. All this would not have happened if I hadn't had the opportunity to safely get a little sloshy with you guys. Because I've been here, I've been a Christian now for like a couple months, I'd say. And
you're getting sloshy?
Wow.
This is a safe podcast space. Steven.
Yes, cheers.
Look at Ben's judgmental eyes.
No, but really, became a Christian, went back to Wenatchee completely alone, was just very patient with myself, and I was not really doing anything different with my life. And now coming here to this huge, tight-knit community of accountability, which I have not experienced in a long time. All my friends are like, sure, do whatever you want. No worries. Cool. as long as it doesn't hurt me, cool. So
All your friends that are not believers.
Oh, yeah. All my friends that are not believers. So here, everyone's excited that I'm a Christian. Everyone has advice for me on how to be a Christian. Of course. Read Pilgrim's Progress. Yeah. That's how I do it. No offense. I love you, Holly. But, and I'll read it. But yeah, I feel like I have all these things I'm holding on to and trying to make a good face. Also, I feel like I'm, coming in, everyone knows me before I have introduced myself here because of that
You've got
Tahiti.
a sort of a big heroic personality here. If you didn't know, for all the listeners, she's
heroic
saved our
that's not
parents.
me.
she saved our parents, but she's also like a big combat nurse, doctor that's
Right.
an ER.
She uses glass in my free
specialist.
time.
Yeah, she does.
I speak 5 languages.
She does.
Yeah, I'm ready to take on all the ministry responsibilities. The first day that I was here, they were like, and
Well,
praying
that's
for
what
me
people
to
want
take
you to do.
Yeah.
At
I think
least.
they made a movie about her called Hacksaw Ridge.
Right. The female version of Hacksaw Ridge is Jessica,
I
our
know,
cousin.
it's just a little intimidating to come here and be like, oh, I'm a brand new Christian. I'm not going to tell you what I was just doing a week ago.
Yeah.
Also, I barely speak French and had no idea what was happening in Tahiti. Just, on a road, on a trip that God called me to.
Yeah.
Anyway, so it was really nice to have a moment of maybe not the most morally upright behavior. I don't know.
Well, you
would
can
say,
let
but
your guard down in a safe place
Yeah.
that isn't a place where doing the same actions would have you either taken advantage of or
Yeah.
judged one way or the other, or also have to have legitimate responsibilities. You didn't have to drive or care for someone.
The rapids were pretty low.
There's no
I'm pretty good
rapids.
about
It's a
it.
float.
The German Shepherd was a little sketchy. Just eyeing him.
She's like, a bear. It's a German Shepherd, Jess.
When I tried to run out of the kayak and strangle the bear, but I just plopped down.
Don't worry, I got you guys. Yeah, so it's sort of that's cool.
Yeah.
You're
So
staying
anyway,
here.
that honest conversation led to now
Yeah.
a heart change a week later.
Yeah.
Time's not important, but a week later.
Yeah.
I'm such a good learner. Fast grower.
Learn. No, I think that's cool, and it's kind of what we had talked about before from an authentic faith-based perspective. There's a lot of people that leave whatever they believe, whatever religion they leave, 9 times out of 10 because of the hypocrisy or perceived hypocrisy within that religion. And so it's of course true in Christianity where we're all going to church on Sundays and doing supposedly right things and then not doing that throughout the week. And how can anyone truly be convicted or feel like they're not just two-faced if they're in that kind of environment? And that's true. That should be true and true with anything. And so I think it's important to see, especially as coming back, it's not like you're a brand new believer. You kind of grew up in the church too. So to be able to compare and
Prodigal child.
contrast, compare and contrast that.
Feels so
learning.
good to be labeled that. Such a fun.
And you can kind of see now both sides and say, okay, there is a way to do this. There's a way to love the Lord with all of our heart, mind, and soul. That isn't is absolutely different than what the world is living, but also isn't what American Christianity necessarily subscribes to. And I think that's good. I think that's important and a good way to have sort of those conversations with Holly and with Julie and with my parents and with us
Parents
and
have been really kind.
all this different stuff. And Graham, who has
Graham.
just loved on you. And
Taking care of my cat. They're best friends now.
oh, are they?
Yeah, thank goodness.
Thank goodness. It was a little iffy for a while.
I had nightmares. It's like, oh no.
Oh,
I got a
no.
Battle.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate you. And I know Ben does too, even though he just says it with his eyes.
You done good.
I'm going to kind of wrap this up here with a couple questions that I have for each of you.
Beatbox session.
Yeah, sort of we'll end it in the beatbox session.
Okay.
But this question is for you, Stephen. It was, I did a poll online, and this was one of the most requested questions by the audience.
Got the stats for that poll?
Yeah, you don't have anyone to poll. I know that.
I have the poll online. Okay, question for Stephen. You've done this trip, the kayaking trip now. This was the first time for all of you, except for Stephen has done this with me now several times. Since this is going out to the audience and potentially folks who may join me as well in the future on the river.
Like my mom.
Yeah, Mom's done it before. Is there anything you'd like to warn them about?
Well,
now?
about going in November.
Or just going?
Oh, maybe.
Wait. I meant to say, is there any feedback you'd like to give?
Oh,
Not warnings.
yeah. Maybe bring like floating storage because there wasn't a lot of room to put my stuff there, and so my feet were kind of just out of where my feet normally would go.
Do you think that's because you were sharing a kayak with someone who was hogging the whole back half?
No, I mean she had her own gear to put back there. So.
Okay.
But that's, I didn't take my shoes out because I clamped them into the back of my seat. So that's a good point. Like some sort of floating, accessible,
Like a cooler that
koozie,
floats.
yeah. Like snacks. And I think I also
Snacks.
took a pull on that bottle a little bit too hard because my water bottle was also shoved back there. I was
Never
like,
seen again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is not water. What have I done?
Yeah, maybe just like extra floating storage, which they make floating coolers that
They
just
make it, Tim.
link
Just do
on
it.
to your kayak.
Okay.
So
All right. So floating storage for the summer floats when it's a little bit warmer.
yeah, or even that would have been nice.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like it. Jess, question to you now from the audience. As a Krav Maga black belt, what aspects of this
Really?
trip will
Oh, yeah.
you
Karate Kid was after me.
what aspects of this trip will you look back on to help further your medical profession?
Oh.
I don't think any of that has anything to do with anything.
Ben, this question is not for you.
Well, you shouldn't try and wrestle bears. That's not safe.
Okay.
Definitely practice your CPR before you go, just in case.
Practice it on a buddy.
No, actually, I'm sure all these guys are laughing, or were giggling beforehand because I was super hyper vigilant as far as like, oh gosh, an emergency is going to happen. Every time I have fun, an emergency happens. Woe is me. And I had to. I mean, it really does happen, like broken
You're
bones and
a traveling
nurse,
nurse.
and
Of course,
rock
things
climber
happen bad around you. They just
It's just this little black cloud, and
Yeah.
it feels even more, with travel nursing. Just with the state of our healthcare, I feel like there's not that many veterans, so all the emergencies happen on my watch. Anyway, so I was like having these visions of like us going down a waterfall, even though you told me there's no rapids. I was like, no, I'm convinced there's a waterfall.
He's
and
missing something.
Someone's going to fall into this icy water, and I'm going to have to jump out and do CPR on them, and it's just going to be a terrible day.
great.
Yeah, you're the one that fell in, so none of us knew how to do anything.
No, as soon as we got there, I was like, wow, it's super warm. We had awesome coffee on the way here. The water seems pretty chill. So I was like, great, Fireball. This seems like an appropriate time.
I had a CPR kit.
I
and
warned you
change
guys
of
that I would
clothes in
be
my
feral.
bag, so like
I know.
we're good.
I knew you guys like had all the details, So I would say like these folks are
Ben
very
was a
safe to
Star
go
Scout,
with.
so he knows like first aid.
You know how to sew pajamas?
I know how to sew pajamas.
And stitches.
You're my
And
hero.
stitches.
And stitches
Wow.
and TCCC from the Army. He's got it.
And what?
I don't know what that is.
Never mind.
What'd you say?
TCCC medical.
Oh, TCCC.
Yeah. What do you just call it?
But I mean, especially, I can be a little, a bit of a feminist, but in the outdoors, I think that sometimes it's scary as a woman to go out like, oh gosh, is someone going to leave me behind? Are they going to think I can't hack it?
My company's left me.
Which is a thing in it is a thing in mountaineering. Like, Wenatchee's not exactly inclusive yet. Sorry for the Wenatcheeans that might listen to this.
They are
but-
listening.
Yeah.
How would I have left you behind, though? You were attached
I
to
would
the
have
back
just
of my kayak.
capsized it and stole it and taken it.
Where is Jessica?
I am the captain now.
But, also like, oh gosh, it's going to be too cold. I don't know what I'm doing. How do I pee outside? That's a big one for women. Again, first of all, it's
The
possible.
shiwi, yeah.
Well, you can do it just, without instruments.
By
You're-
being brave.
Yeah.
God has a plan for all things.
Yeah.
Wow. So you came into this whole trip very negative minded.
No.
And very
That's
fearful.
no.
That's
That's
just doctor
no.
mindset.
No,
Oh,
no.
okay.
Usually my goal is like get more women outdoors, like be a mentor.
Okay.
And sometimes it's scary to go with guys.
Sure.
And this is like a perfect group of guys because you guys got it under control. You know what you're doing. You're very
Look at
kind. Sometimes fun.
I was winging it the entire
Sometimes
time.
fun.
So yeah, I mean, I think if you're a woman that is afraid to go outdoors, or like you haven't experienced cold water before, or if you're afraid of German Shepherd bears. Like, this is a good group of people that is going to prep you and like take you alongside. If something does go wrong, they know what to do. If you act like an idiot, they won't hold it against you.
We'll just podcast about it later.
So yeah, it was just a great time.
Cool.
Great time.
Awesome. Thank you. Great answer. Ben, last question goes to you from the audience here. How will you take what you've experienced now and be able to incorporate that into the next round of D&D as the dungeon master?
I don't know, maybe a Lewis and Clark themed adventure.
Ooh, I like that.
That sounds racist.
No, that sounds awesome. I'm already on board.
Colonizers spreading west.
That sounds pretty cool.
We
Sort
did
of
have some Oregon Trail 2 jokes beforehand. I was very happy
yeah,
about
yeah,
that. And
yeah,
our caravan.
Dysentery.
To get a lot of inspiration from that game.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could, I don't know, start somewhere and
So
Go
make
down a
D&D more
river
of a
or
journey,
something.
like a point A to point B kind of thing down the
Yeah.
river, or do you want to
the
cock your
story
wagon?
is about the
or
journey, not the destination.
Yeah,
Wait,
like
Forge the
Lord of
River.
the Rings, like Mordor.
You died of dysentery.
Frodo didn't do that.
These are all highly different. So you've got some good ideas now.
No. That's the first I've ever thought of it.
Okay. Wow, that was a popular question on the.
Oh, I'm sure it
Yeah,
was.
we're all sure it was.
That's intense. All right. Well, anything else to end out? We appreciate the conversation here. I think this was a good sort of replay of the event. It was an honor to have you all on board the episode today. See what I did there? I made a kayaking joke on board.
Yep. And we didn't quite hit the hour mark, but if you slow it down by 0.5, we'll be right on the money.
If you are listening to this episode and it is your first time, please, you feel free to do the 1.5 speed forward, because that way it'll help you get through the podcast, the whole podcast, but also episode by episode. As you know, most of our podcast episodes are definitely shenanigans and not necessarily real estate related, and focus on personalities and character and just awesome conversations. So thank you for tuning in. Steven is eyeballing me again because he just likes to look at me across the table the whole time we do this. And Ben, you want to end it out?
We done good.
Smash the subscribers.
Smash that like and subscribe button.
Thanks.
All right. We'll see you all again next time on anavivo.com.
End it. Just end it.
Thank you for listening to another episode of the Anavivo podcast. We welcome your feedback and ideas. You can learn more about us by simply Googling the word Anavivo. This podcast is supported by listeners like you. I am a licensed real estate broker with Compass Real Estate and a nationwide real estate matchmaker. We consult with you for free, find and vet the right real estate professional that specializes in the area and niche you need, are paid by that professional, and they get clients like yourself who want and need their unique specialty or winning track record. If you or someone you know is in the market to buy or sell real estate anywhere in the U.S., don't simply web search the highest paying advertiser. Let us use our licensed experience to find and vet the real and best professional for you. It costs you nothing but a phone call or email with me, and has saved my clients financially and emotionally. I'd be honored to serve, and you can reach me direct by email at tim.c.miller@outlook.com. And as always, to God be the glory.